Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
Man, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Man, You Too Near Me Not to Hear Me. I have my Spelman sister, my partner in crime for education. When I got my first gig, she was out there with me. This is my homegirl, my ace boom coon, my disco partner, Miss Andrea Williams. What's up, girl?
Hey, what's up, man? Woohoo!
What's happening? What's happening?
Nothing much. Trying to stay alive.
I had to pick this song, "Running." It's a remix of Earth, Wind, and Fire song "Running." Danny Krivett did this, and I just love the fact that he just kept the drums and the bass line going, which reminds me of when we went to this spot. What was it called? In
It was Nikki's down in the
And
San Francisco.
down in the Hate District, man. So I was like, oh, I remember this song playing, and we up in there in this little spot. I guess it was a restaurant or something like that during the day.
Yeah, exactly.
And at night, man, they turned into a little spot. We up on the little the benches on the side of the wall. I was like, this little spot is jumping, man. I'm like, having too much of a good time.
Those leaves soaking wet because you danced and partied your butt
Oh
off.
my goodness,
Man.
Young teachers. That's what we were back in the day. Young teachers.
We were living right then.
Oh my goodness, man. Had to love it, man. Had to love it. So it's interesting. Our even more bonded connection came through Multicultural Alliance, and just think about the mission of that group, which was essentially to get more minority teachers into private boarding and parochial schools, so they could see. So students who were in there could see more of themselves represented in the classroom as far as teachers or even administrators.
Exactly.
And so they're not, and for me, honestly, what a great experience to come out and do that. I was at Athenian, loved that place. It was crazy, but I loved it. And then get my next year in Lake Forest Academy. But then I was like 2 years, internship was over, and then I come to DC. Straight public school, getting in my grind. Shout out to Largo High School up in PG County. Yes, Largo. So just being able to get that opportunity, but I love the fact that I had that as a start.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It was a jump off for a lot of folks in that program. I think I even stay connected with folks from that besides you. Orpheus, remember Orpheus Crutchfield?
Orpheus, yes.
Love him. He actually has started another business, Strategenius, and they're doing very well, placing people of color in schools all over the world. So
wow.
He's doing a lot of good things. But yeah, that was a great jump start for me. I left Branson in where was I? Marin County in Ross, and went from there to DC and did all sorts of kinds of schools over 20-some years. It was amazing.
Yeah, man. The Branson School. Love coming over there. Y'all had the good food, man. I think I came over there. Y'all had lobster and shrimp one day, and I was like, excuse me?
Yeah, that was. I always got the posh schools, right?
I was like, man. Don't get me wrong. We weren't slouching either, but I didn't get the lobster joints on there. I was like, okay, that's what's up.
You know what's nice about that too? A couple of students that I worked with at Branson, I've been in touch, and they're like these Tongo Eisenmartin. He's a world-renowned poet now, and this young man, back in the day, had a little bit of going on, but see him now, I'm so proud. Yeah, it's amazing. You know what teaching is like. Being in education, there's always one student or one or two that you don't think you had an impact on, but they come back and say, Ms. Williams or Mr. Davis or Dr. Davis, that I've come back and they share with you what they've accomplished. You're like, oh, okay. And then they thank you for whatever it is that you've done. I'm like, oh, did I do anything? But I guess I did. Yeah, that's that one or two makes everything worthwhile. all that you've experienced.
I can honestly tell you, man, I still keep up and track with a few of the students from Athenian and from Lake Forest.
Mm-hmm.
And just to see them now married and with kids and, you know, attorney this and doctor this. And I'm just like, wow, okay, I remember you was just a little running nose, little somebody running around this high school acting a fool. And I was like, man, slow your roll.
Tell me about it. Yeah, but it makes you feel like you've had an impact. Well, that's the most important thing, and they appreciate it too. When they come back and thank you, that's priceless. So yeah.
Have you found that when you talk with young people or when you talk with parents today
Mm-hmm.
that don't have really any idea, and I'm really talking about, you know, Black and brown parents
Mm-hmm.
who have no clue or the ideal about the impact that boarding schools have or some of these really great independent and private
Mm-hmm.
schools have about helping them to get into college. And matter of fact, the fact that they do have the funding to scholarship these kids and give them that opportunity.
Exactly.
You know, I can tell you for myself, and I still carry this moniker now over 25 years of doing this, that I am amazed. Like I live in a pretty somewhat affluent area of the East Valley here in Phoenix. And so Gilbert and Chandler and Ahwatukee and Santan and Queen Creek. And there's a sprinkling of us, let me say it like this.
Mm-hmm.
So when I do get a chance to talk to these parents, and I see them just kind of following the track mode of what the school is that's in the neighborhood, or they were told this school to go to this school, and now they're sending all their kids over. And so then I asked the question, I said, your child's in about 5th or 6th grade. What are your high school plans? Have you ever heard of boarding schools? Have you ever thought about, you know, where do colleges go first to give invitations to school, not applications? And they're like, what are you talking about? Excuse me, say that again. And I'm just like, y'all have no clue or idea.
Exactly.
And so that has kind of been my flagpole.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, I want our kids to get those opportunities, and it's not hard to get in and navigate your way into it.
So I work with a nonprofit here in DC called the Black Student Fund, and its sole purpose, it was founded well over 75 years ago. I think it was 75 years ago, to help Black children get into independent schools in the Washington metropolitan area. And it was and it was underrepresented kids, the low income, if you will, the at-risk students. And I hate using both of those terms to describe Black people, but anyway, it's a whole other conversation.
Right.
People with fewer advantages, I'm gonna say it like that. So we helped them. We talked to parents, and it was like sometimes it was talking to a brick wall, but helping them getting them to understand the importance of education. 1, 2, getting them out of high school and into a college, and getting their students to think on that track. So we did a lot of work, and we placed hundreds of kids in over 75 to 100 schools around the Washington area, and the program was set up such that we mentored them, and we stayed with them as they matriculated all the way through their senior years and afterwards. We helped them with the college application process when they got to seniors, and we did.
That's the key.
Baby to college, so we made sure that they were successful, and it was a rewarding time I had. But it was also, not only did we do that, but we also did some education components, an equity piece for the faculty and staff. So we did a lot of training and getting other folks to understand about us and having our kids in those environments and what it was like for them. And so it was a lot. There was a lot of things going on, but it was very important. And I agree with you. So whenever I meet someone, I still wear that hat of educator. I see people with kids like, do you know about this? Do you know about this school? Do you know about this program? What are you thinking about? And that's something that we need to continue to do, whether we're in the role officially or not, but to make sure that we're lifting up and bringing the others behind us up as well.
No, I completely agree with you 100%. I find it even more challenging here in the Arizona area because that's not a part of the culture. So here's the kind of strange things about this, and I think these are the facts that I understand quoted the way that they are, that I think it's 70% or 75% of the high school students that graduate from an Arizona high school stayed for college in Arizona.
Wow.
Of those students that graduate from those Arizona colleges, I think it's 60% that stay in the Arizona area. Don't get me wrong.
What's wrong with it? Right.
I
Yeah.
live out here. I'm enjoying it. But I think the ideal of having that broad scope to be able to go out in a way, particularly when you're in your high school years, and you've got to be ready for it. So parents have to be ready for it. The kids got to honestly be ready for it, but you want to give them that opportunity. It's nothing like the hurt of taking a kid to see a kid at a boarding school and they didn't do well in middle school. They're in a high school. They get a chance to visit, what was going on. And they're like, man, I wish I had, studied harder or taken that opportunity or took that test or, did those kind of things. I could flourish here. And that is the one thing that hurts.
That they can't see themselves somewhere else. That's tough. I had a mother, her daughter was brilliant, but I was mentoring this little girl and I was trying to get her to understand that she should consider Spelman College. And they lived in Georgia. So they were down there. And the mother said to me, well, I don't know where we'll be living, so I don't know if she can go there. I'm like, what? Why are you?
She's going to be living on campus. What's that got to do with anything else?
But the mom had this. The mom was from LA, from Compton. So we have that to deal with.
I lived out there, so I understand.
I imagine. So her mentality was, we got to stay together, and you can't venture off from me. We got, so that held that child back, and the little girl to this day hasn't gone to college because of the mama. Yeah, because the mama can't see past the
I've run across many of those stories.
Yeah, too many.
I've worked with KIP and helping them do their. I was a director of high school placement and alumni affairs, and helping them really kind of forge their KIP to college program, which I love. And this kind of fortified. They believed honestly in the system of, hey, we're going to do a major impact with these kids in middle school. One of the things that we're going to dangle a carrot out there in front of them is that they need to see what is more beyond their four corners as they look at high schools. And we're going to show them what is the creme de la creme, and then they're going to break them down into the tiers. So when you start thinking about your 5th and 6th grade year, you got to come out the block and hit it hard. Because for this very short period, and this is what really hurts about people don't understand, if you don't hit the grades and do the right things in your 6th and 7th grade year,
it sets the tone for everything else.
Whatever happens in the next 5 to 6 years, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Because you've missed out on some great opportunities. It doesn't mean that you won't do well in high school. Maybe you'll turn those kind of things around. But it's a lot of things that have to happen in order for that switch to hit. You're talking about a young person who is struggling with, just adolescence and their body growing and stuff like that. And they do wonky, stupid things. And, but I don't know if I'm a glutton for punishment, but I love middle school kids because I know
favorite age too.
It's
malleable.
I got you. I was like, and I can show you, just trust me on this, and just little things. And so I was great at teaching a high school prep course to them. And I found that I follow that same model wherever I've gone. I've taken small groups of kids and I'm just like, let me talk to y'all. What's something we're going to meet every week and do this? Because I want you prepped and ready for what comes ahead of you. Right. I think that has become sort of my moniker, my mission in my educational landscape, that I always believe that this was the sweet spot. Not every kid is going to go to college. I get that.
That's okay.
And
to succeed.
Yeah. I mean, and when we say that, sometimes there's a look on people's faces like, I can't believe you just said that. I'm like, well, honestly, I'm telling the truth. Honestly, some kids don't need to go. Like some of them have a talent that doesn't require for you to be 4 years at an institution, for you to just go through the college experience. And then when you get out, you still don't know what you're doing. Some kids are just, they're a technical mind, or are they working with hands or whatever there is, or they can just accelerate to it. you ever know those computer kind of genius kids?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, and they're on the cusp of everything. Why would I need to send you to college so that you can go through 4 years of somebody teaching you something that happened back 5 years ago that you don't even use anymore, and you're already 5 years ahead of what's happening in your classes? I'm like, dude, I need you to go forward. I need you to just fly and go do what you can do. Get your certification in Microsoft. Do this, whatever you got to, Linux. Get your class and just do you.
I think what's important, so you talk about the age group at middle school, 5th, 6th, and 7th grade, and sometimes 8th grade, that's where they should be exploring their passions, finding out what their passion is so they can build on that and plan for the next four years when they get to high school, and then the next 4 years after that when they get to college, so they can, if they go to college, to determine that passion and have a plan. So that's what I've been talking about when I talk to kids at that age. I ask them, so what do you want to be when you grow up? What kind of career do you think you want to have? And then I say, well, so how do you see this in? So how do you get there? And that gets them thinking, well, hopefully gets them to thinking, well, I've got to come up with a plan. I've got to figure out how I can become a doctor. How can I become an educator? How can I become an electrician? How can I become an art teacher? Whatever it is. So that getting kids to think about that, because most of them don't. They're just going through the motions, like you say. They go do what they're told and just go through. Yeah.
I was one of those kids.
Wow, I can't imagine.
I
was that like that too?
I was like, whatever, man. Like, okay, whatever was. I was fortunate that the adults in the schools that I had attended offered me a buffet.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't say you got to go do this. Here's a smattering of things that are really good for you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, good luck. Do what's good for you. Now and when I've talked to teachers, because now as they are, doing classes now online and, the virtual kind of, setup, well, how do I get them intrinsically involved? I said, you can't simply just tell them what to do.
They have to figure it out.
You got to offer them a buffet. That's all. Be consistent and offer them a buffet of what's going on. Mm-hmm. So that you appear just to be a conduit of just good information in a place where they can come and be safe to explore. Offer good information. I remember, Drea, I was at a charter school on the west side of Chicago when I first got back from LA. And a young lady there, I knew that she was taking care of her mom and 2 younger siblings. She had a good head on her shoulders. She just wasn't going to be able to afford to go away to school. It wasn't going to happen. And I sat there struggling because I was like, man, here's a kid that would flourish at Hampton or Howard or Tuskegee or Spelman, or Clark, or it's just like she would just explode with all the possibilities. But I know that because of those responsibilities, she's not going to be able to take that in. So I got to figure out how to accelerate her ability to make money first and get her stable into a career. Just happened to talk to a friend of mine who knew about a dental hygienist school. Mm-hmm. Do you know that they have an 18-month program for dental hygienists?
Okay.
I think the schooling is less than 20 grand or whatever the case is, some nominal fee in that 18-month program. But do you know what the starting salary is for a dental hygienist?
I don't.
Minimum bar none.
Okay.
After 18 months, $80,000.
I'm in the wrong field. Let me go. Let me go to dental school.
When I told her that, it was as a conversation, we're talking, and a lot of other things are going on, and I just slipped that one in. Mm-hmm. And it said it just in that kind of, convincing kind of way. I was like, hey, it's something you can explore. You never know. Mm-hmm. Girl graduates, didn't think anything about it. A year later, I'm now at another school. I get, somebody to say, hey, you got a visitor here at your campus. I'm like, okay. So I come out and I look at her and I see this girl. Mr. Davis, what's going on? Or Dean Davis, that's what they call me, Dean, because I was a dean of students. Mm-hmm. Dean, what's going on? I said, nothing, what's going on with you? How you doing? I just finished dental hygienist school.
Nice.
I got my position 6 months before I finished. They actually paid for the rest of my schooling. I'm now starting to make $95,000, Mr. Davis. I said, excuse me, come see my new car.
That is fantastic. See, and that's all that it takes is yeah, exactly.
She moved her mom up out of, a really struggling home situation to a better home. Here, this girl is probably, she may not even be 20, but 95 grand a year in her scrubs, looking good, has and already was talking about the place that she has. They want her to go on and get her dental license. They want her to be a dentist, and they were going to help pay because they were trying to grow their business.
There you go. That's it. That's what we have to do. We have to do it for our kids and get them on the right path. Oh, we need to figure out a way to do this virtually so that we can reach more people.
Well, the thing about it is, and as I look at this landscape now, is that we really don't know what COVID is going to happen and do. We don't know what direction this is going to turn in. I know that in my heart, a lot of people are thinking, hey, it'll be over soon. It's just like any other virus. We'll be done with it. I was like, I mean, best estimates a year or two from now.
2 years.
Maybe. If there's not another strand that comes in even stronger than this one, if the flu season really doesn't we came in at the end of the flu season, and then that's when it kicked in. So now the summer's kind of burned things off, but we're about to switch back into the next stretch, which is that September, October, November, December.
That'd be scary.
That's when things are going to slide up.
We're not going back into the office. We're going to be teleworking until at least January. So I was like, what? Okay.
Yeah. And the funny thing about it is companies have noticed that their productivity has gone up. That people are at home and they're just like, okay, they're grinding it out, doing what they got to do, and people are being a lot more productive.
I feel like I'm doing more work now than I did when I was physically in the office. So absolutely, I see it 100%.
Driving yourself crazy, right? Sitting under them fluorescent lights.
Yeah.
No, I know, man. So I truly believe in this format and trying to connect with kids.
Yep.
I think that parents are going to need a lot more help than they ever did before. There are an amazing amount of opportunities that, in thinking about it, and open some doors up to make these kind of things happen. I mean, if you can make the Democratic National Convention a big Zoom call,
that was fun, wasn't it? Yeah.
And to be effective. What's up? So let me switch a slight gear for you. So what's up, man? Your girl from California, Senator Harris.
Kamala.
My Spelman sister Kelly said, all we're gonna hear is HU.
Okay, all day long. I'm not mad. I'm happy for them. We should be hearing that. And just think about what doors that's going to open. People are actually going to pay attention now. They've had hundreds of years. How long our schools been around? Hundreds of years to hear about us. They come to us when they want us for something. So hello, we're here. We've been here.
Yeah. Howard's going to take a come up, man. Because
I cannot wait for them they need to. I'm happy for them. Howard needs it.
Yeah, man.
He's already got a lot.
So what do you think, man? Biden makes the choice. He says, and I'll be honest with you. In the debates, when she kind of went in and attacked at him, I honestly said, if she doesn't get the nomination, because I'd like her to get the actual nomination, I said, and if it ends up being, I had a funny feeling it was going to be Biden. I said, that's going to be who he has to pick for his VP. I said, because
she's thorough. She's
no
sharp.
hesitation. She went in.
In the earlier stages of this process, I was hoping for Stacey Abrams, my Spelman sister.
Okay.
I wanted her to become vice president because she's just as qualified. She's an attorney as well. Probably doesn't have as much experience as a Kamala Harris. However, I don't say she has more sense. I don't know what the word phrase is, but I like her better. But it's so good because I'm still voting for Kamala and Biden. I don't
Right.
care, or Harris and Biden, because we need a change, and she'll advocate for us, I believe. But I really was hoping for Stacey Abrams to come in and pull some stuff up and get some things done. But it's all good. It is all good.
You know, Abrams is sometimes the way that things happen, and it's so blatant and it's obvious. And I can't believe that we are still looking at situations where it was obvious that who was ever the Secretary of State was for Georgia, what he was doing.
Oh, of course.
Running for the office and controlling what was happening with the polls. And it's just like,
yeah.
Oh, you guys are talking a conspiracy thing. No, I'm not conspiracy nothing, man.
It's right there in front of us, and we saw it plain as day. So yeah, but you know what? Things happen the way they're supposed to happen, and she'll get another cabinet position of some sort, maybe an ambassadorship. She'll do something powerful and for us coming up. So I'm not worried about her.
So do you feel this as being really a historic moment for not only for women, but for Black women?
Oh, absolutely. So since the civil rights movement began, Black women have always been there. We just never been in the forefront. We've managed everything. We run this country. Y'all, you didn't know that? You know. Exactly.
I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. I'm like,
So Black women we're having our day, and it's going to be a long day because we have a lot to do and a lot to say and a lot to accomplish and a lot to get done. Not just for us, but for all of us. I mean, I say us, I mean Black women. Yeah, it's time. It is definitely time. I think it was on the 18th was the anniversary of the suffragette movement. And within that movement alone, there's so much racism within that. White women got the right to vote, yeah, and Black women were right beside them working towards that vote as well, but weren't allowed to vote after all that. So we've always been there. We've always been there supporting and helping and moving things forward, but not giving credit or acknowledgments when we were doing that work. But thank God for Fannie Lou Hamer and all those women who came before her who did all that work for voter registration and I'm thinking of the other's name. Like on the names right now, but we know we know our history.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's coming. It's coming. I'm excited. I'm excited for us.
So you know the thing that as I'm sitting there and I'm watching it happen with my wife and sister from the south side of Chicago, my wife, she's all up on it, ready, like, okay, and this is what's up. And I was like, yeah, I agree wholeheartedly, 100%. I said, but I told you a long time ago that's who's going to be VP.
Wow.
I just had my lock in about. Now, don't get me wrong. I thought if I didn't want this to be the pressure of having to have a woman as being a vice president, but I felt that with so many candidates who were running in the Democratic ticket that were women, really great. I mean, I don't think there was one person on, even the young lady from Hawaii who had more of a military background.
Oh yeah, Duckworth.
Yeah. I think I thought she would have been great. I kind of like Klobuchar. Shaky, she reminded me of somebody's, old mama in Hyde Park, But there were. I was fine with.
It was good. They had a very strong field. He had an excellent field of choices.
But I kept just coming back to Harris because of the impact of her being a senator from California, the things that she has done, there, the way that even though this is a race, she went in and was decisive and hit him in a sore spot, and he had to respect it. And I said, it's hard to kind of make some folks, you're talking to the former vice president himself.
Okay.
So he'd been sitting there with Barack. He already knew what was going on. He waited a couple of years with Agent Orange, 45. I mean,
say his name.
Right.
Conversation.
That dude, and I'm just like, are y'all kidding me? y'all don't really see this. So long story short, man, I was happy, but I felt like, okay, well, here it comes. Something, I knew Fox News and these conservative Republicans, and they go, was she born here? I'm just like,
we're not going to deal with that.
Are we gonna come with this again? You know who I thought was phenomenal and just the next day kind of thing and having it was Michelle Obama.
Yes. Oh my God.
18 minutes of shots fired. Pow! I was like, wow.
People say to me that I operate with the velvet hammer. Michelle perfected that mess. She did it. I was like, yes, this is the way you tell people what it is. It is what it is. She got that. Yes, Michelle Obama.
You too near me not to hear me, man.
Okay. Yeah.
Southside's finest down there. She had to put it down. I was like, go ahead, girl. Do your thing.
I would love to have said, don't start none, it won't be done. That's all she had to say. But anyway, no, Michelle Obama was amazing. We are living in, of course we are, we're living in historic times. But I think even when we talk about these historic times, we can't address it without talking about this Black Lives Matter movement and how that is affecting a lot right now, or impacting a lot of what's going on. And I tell people, like, I'm 53 years old. It's only in my lifetime have we been allowed.
No, you ain't no 53. Stop playing with me.
I am.
Sure. I'm 51.
53, dude.
No, you still in your late 20s. Don't stop messing with me.
But so in my lifetime, we as Black people have only been considered citizens, been allowed to vote, and we've had a Black president. Now, 53 years out of 400 years of being on this continent, United States, and we've been saying all along that we want equity, we want equality, and they're just now hearing us. That's frustrating for me. We were talking earlier before we got on the call about folks calling and asking us for help in fixing this problem. They have to fix it. Sure, we can help, but it's not our problem to fix it. It's yours, and you better fix it. Fix it this time, because Black women are tired of all of this mess.
I'm just tired of talking about it. Like I don't want to carry it anymore because I've been carrying it.
Yeah, we've carried it all of our lives. I'm saying our short little lives on this earth, 50 years, is nothing compared to the hundreds of years that we've all of our ancestors have carried it. So it's time for it to go away. We need to help it go away, make it go away.
Well, and anybody who's been watching the show has got to hear me say what I've been saying for several shows now. I want $1 million for every Black person living.
Thank you. Hello.
I don't want any taxes taken out. I want everybody's debts wiped clear.
Yeah.
That means the mortgages, consumer debts, taxes, wipe everything clear. Everybody, not just the parent of the household. No, even the children. It's only 40 million of us.
Oh wow!
If my math is correct, that's 40 trillion. You still owe us 40 acres and a mule.
Thank you.
Which is estimated right now at over $400 trillion. And all I'm just saying is you got 40 trillion. 40 trillion.
Knock it out. I would love that. Think of what we could do with that. I mean,
Drea, think about this. You don't have to turn around and say, like you an NBA or NFL draft pick and you just got your $25 million contract. You like, yeah, what's the first thing you gonna do? And I hate when they do this. I'm gonna buy my mama a house. I'm gonna help my family. I'm just like, all of a sudden, you all the athletic prowess and practice has gotten you to this point. Now you got to support an entire, your whole family clan and all your cousins coming up out the woodwork. And you still trying to floss, which is a problem. So I'm like, nah, with this thing, it would turn around things. Instead of having to ask for stuff, I'm like, no, this is the one ask.
I can do it on my own. Think about, so we know about Rosewood, we know about Black Wall Street. So, and there are I would say hundreds. There are several other places, even DC, Georgetown used to be all black. LA used to be black. All these cities, did you know that? When they become popular, white folks come and take it over. And what is that? We can't have anything of our own. So when we can build our own and have our own, everyone profits and benefits from it. So why would they not do it? But I forgot where I lost my train of thought.
Right now we are the largest consumer group.
Mm-hmm.
Yet we are we only make up 13% of the population.
Thank you. Yeah. So something's wrong with that picture. Yeah.
So imagine your mama, your daddy, whoever's alive, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your siblings, whoever, your friends, everybody sitting on a mill with debts wiped out clean. No home, no car, no credit card.
But imagine the wealth and growth. Imagine what would happen. What would happen? It'd be amazing. It'd be Wakanda on earth for real, you know?
I'm just saying, we need to be our own nation state. Well, that's what you owe us. Because this country was built on our backs, literally on our backs. And so here's the thing. I know that the one thing is going to happen is that we're going to have the Dave Chappelle effect. Yes, there's going to be some Bammers who go out and buy box trucks full of cigarettes and talk about that kind of craziness. I get it.
Yeah.
But here's what I think will happen. I'm almost sure of it'll happen because it's happening now, because in our private conversations that we're having with people in our networks, we're already thinking about, okay, I mean, let's pool our monies together and let's start investing in it.
I was just thinking the same thing. Exactly. Yeah.
I got a group of guys that, we have a cigar group called Tap That Ash. So it's a couple of guys out of the group that we've gotten together, and we have gone ahead and started an investment group. Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
And we're talking about controlling amongst that group of us $10,000 a month. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of money when you're pulling it together and staying with that program and all the way through. And so I'm like, I got to understand, if you're not thinking in that manner, financial literacy is going to be one of the things that will have to come up. And so that we're not kind of becoming major mass consumers. Now, don't get me wrong. Some people are going to say, I got my $1 million. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go buy me. But guess what? But all your debts are cleared. Yeah. That little raggedy piece of car, that car you got paying notes on, that home you got, is now paid for. You could turn it around and make that an Airbnb. You could make your car into one of those, lease it out to somebody who's going to drive Uber or Lyft. I don't care what you do, but you got to be, your mindset has to be of doing something different, because legacy is what we're starting to get into.
But this all goes back to what we were talking about earlier, and that's education. We need to go back and start teaching our own like we used to. We need to get civics back in our classes, in our schools. We need to get kids access to shop and woodworking and all those courses in electronics, because that's where all the money, that's where all the power is. Kids make people, the plumbing association right now, you know who runs that now? Is not us. It's other folk. And if we train our kids to get in those fields, like you said, they don't have to go to college, but they can get a skill. Where are those universities? Where are those colleges? That's what we need to start investing in, and getting our kids educated and getting them back on track so they can be self-sufficient and not have to rely on someone else.
I know this to be true. So here I live in a section of Gilbert, Arizona, and I'm looking at my housing development. And what I see, and I'm a car snob, so I see what cars are parked on the street. Mm-hmm. And what I see now in my neighborhood more than anything else are these white panel, trucks that are, that have tools and that kind of thing, the pickup trucks or the vans, and they got this, plumbing company, electrical company. And I'm watching, the folks that are rolling up in there, and they don't look like us. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they got homes and they got families. And I'm like, okay. And then when I look at us, we on the struggle bug. Either you see, somebody like myself who's been in, in an executive position or something like that, or you see the far end of it. Like
Mm.
you came in and you're not even an owner, you're renting the place, and people are looking down at you like, you about to tear up my property values, better slow down. And that looked like me. That's me looking at it like, hey, I'm paying, I own over here, so stop. So you're right. I think that is lost in it, because what's never going to go away? There's always going to need to be construction. You're going to need the utilities and the things that are from. How about just drywall and throw up some paint?
How about what? Say that again. You broke up.
Throw up drywall and paint.
Okay. All of that. It's all needed. We need to build a crew. It needs to happen. That's all I gotta say. We got to make it happen somehow. It's important. Yeah.
I think imagine just getting 5 young people together.
Ugh.
And one is the plumber, the electrician, one is a, painter. The other one is, designer. The other person is, maybe they have the business side of it. And the 5 of them get together and they say, okay, well, we're going to go out here and flip properties.
I wish.
We're going to put all and we're going to stay in house and turn neighborhoods over and do it right and have good quality and have it. I mean, that's a business that will sustain you.
Itself forever, building equity and building a legacy, like you said. Yep.
Man.
Yeah,
So.
One day.
No, it got to be soon, man. Because Dre, I'm telling you, the way that I don't want to have this lens where I'm kind of looking at this in a very negative way, but in this matter of things changing, if we're not getting to address our needs, and I know we're throwing this under the Black Lives Matter, it just matter of just Black folks in general. If we get lazy and fall down and fall asleep, we may end up getting another 4 years of, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And if you're not even thinking about, I don't even want you really worried about the national election. I think you need to worry sometimes about your own local election.
Thank you. And that's what I've been preaching to folks. The local is where we need to be concerned, because that's where we elect our sheriffs, our judges. Hello. So once we get those in place, I mean, the national election is just as important, but the local is too. We've got to focus on that and educate ourselves on what's happening. So yeah, so are you, in this election cycle, are you going to volunteer and help get folks registered, help with the polling? And what are you?
I'm trying to get in the polling side of it.
Yeah, I'm going to, I've done the 3033 call, whatever that number was, and I've been looking at how I'm going to do it. I haven't decided yet, but I want to my brother actually said he's going to get on the phone and make phone calls and actually register folks that way. That's his way of giving. So there are lots of ways to do that. So we got to make sure we make that happen, that we engage. There's a excellent graphic out that shows out by state, by a few of the states that were swing states for the last election. And it shows the numbers of how Black folks, like, what's his face, number 45, won, because he won by like 11,000 votes in one state, but then over 300,000 Black folks didn't vote. So had they voted, he would have lost the state. So that's what we've got. I'm gonna send you that graphic. I'm gonna text it to you, but I can text you right now. That is what we have to address, is getting folks registered and voting and making sure that
the first time when I was in college and I was able to vote, that was when Clinton was in his first term. I remember Clinton coming to Morehouse's campus.
I was just telling my my family earlier today, we have a weekly Wednesday meeting at 11 o'clock about when I was a freshman at Spelman. Jesse Jackson came and spoke to the Spelman freshman class and the Morehouse freshman class, and he registered all of us to vote. Hello.
Yep.
Yeah.
I definitely remember that. I just, I know that young people carry, and I'm so proud of them, they carry a lot of the energy for, the protests and to speak up and, to do the things that need to be done. But I got to have folks in our age range, and and our folks in the 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s and whatever on up. I got to just vote. Like we can't shuck and jive this.
Thank you.
What scares me is what's happening with mail-in voting.
Oh, well, yeah.
Like that, right? That alone. So one of the ladies that lives in my my complex area, she's the manager for one of the post offices, U.S. post offices, and she's talking to me about the flow and the heavy laden of mail that they have, and where machines have been taken out. Like this is, this is people saying, "Oh, this is that fantasy story." They're saying, "No, this is real."
No. You know how I know it's real? I ordered something back in April, and it didn't arrive until last week. Now, all because it was sitting in the post office waiting for it to be delivered. Yeah.
That's
4
it.
months. 4 months. I know it to the degree. But I think with the recent turnaround by the Postmaster General, he said that he's going to wait until after the election. No, they've already done this. I'm going to try not to cuss here. They've already done this stuff already, so it's already in place. So what are they talking about? So now we've got about what I love about Black people is that we always find a workaround. So we're going to do that again. So sure, we're not going to mail in our ballots, but we can fill them in and then hand deliver them to the elections office. And that's what I'm doing.
Yep.
So as soon as I get my ballot, I'm filling it in, and I'm going to vote, and I'm going to take it straight to the office. And that's what we have to do. So we just got to make sure we take somebody with us and make sure they vote too. So get their ballot and vote, and take them with you to deliver it, so that we know that our votes are going to be counted.
Where were you living when Obama's first term?
I was here in DC.
I was in LA.
Oh my God.
Do you remember the feeling that was that day?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Like we have to recapture that feeling. Like I felt like the cities were electric.
It was an amazing time. Yeah.
We have to find that same kind of electricity and that connectivity, because I thought that that's what was going to happen with Clinton, with Hillary.
Should have happened. Yeah.
and just the feeling of being hoodwinked and bamboozled.
Okay.
I said it.
That's what's happened.
What's the name of this show? You too near me not to hear me. Hoodwinked and bamboozled.
Yeah.
And for the apathy that people are taking, and then here's the result.
Mm-hmm. Which I don't understand the apathy. I understand it intellectually, but I don't understand it in practice. Like, how can you live in this country, be a Black person living in this country, and not be involved and engaged? I don't understand.
Well, again, we only make up 13% of the population.
But our votes count. People don't understand that.
And they do. Mm-hmm. But the stirring of the pot, mm-hmm. and the obviously the racist baiting and just influx of just, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That just stirred from it. So if you really think about it, a lot of things have changed in the names of what was going on, but they still are the same thing.
Yeah.
Obama gets elected, and then all of a sudden the Tea Party appears. Remember them?
They've always been around.
Ain't seen them in a while. They ain't reared up their heads no more.
Yeah. They don't have to, because Trump's doing it all for them.
And now we got alt-right and all this, and just like, and so I think I sometimes I am taken aback by the fact that maybe I've gotten comfortable in thinking that these things don't exist until it's smacked right in the face. Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong. The comfort level of my lens is like, oh, okay. Mm-hmm. But never to the point where my third eye isn't watching. But I felt like maybe the country and myself, we got 8 years of my boy, wow. But yet knowing that the very same Congress wasn't helping him to get things that were through. So here he was getting stuff accomplished with a group of a House and a Senate that was completely against what he wanted to do.
Stuff done, but there was resistance all the way. And the level of disrespect that President Obama endured was just infuriating. That white woman pointing her finger in his face.
Here in what state?
It was Arizona. And then the I can't call him a man. The person in Congress who sat there and tried to call him a liar in the middle of it. What? It's infuriating, but yeah. But he still got stuff done despite all of that. And that's my point. He still got it done. And that's who we are as a people. We still get stuff done in spite of how we, and that's unfortunate that it's in spite of, but we still get it done. But so that's where we need to be focusing on getting stuff done. Get stuff done. Rally together. Vote, vote, and vote.
Be in the, don't let these older folks go into the polling places and no, we need some young folks sitting in it.
Yeah,
they got a job, right? They get paid for that, right?
They do,
but they get paid for it.
Working in the polls, you mean? Working the polls?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just saw a thing. I just sent something to another person. Where you get paid $15 an hour to work the poll. I'm sure not. Let me go work there for a little minute, earn some little change. Absolutely.
And voting should be a national holiday.
Thank you. Yes.
Why are we struggling with that?
Yeah. We're not the nation we could be. So yeah.
You want to make America great again. That's what you push.
Well, make America great because it hasn't been great yet. Not when we put people in first of all, we have the worst prison system on this earth, but not when we put citizens in cages and we put, and I'm talking about the Japanese internment era, or when we practice medicine on its people, the Tuskegee experiment, not when we steal genetic material from our people, Henrietta Lacks, not when we do all these things against us. I can't. This country has never been great.
Did you know that there are groups that are extracting melanin?
How? What? Because they want to be black like us?
Because of the healing properties and because of what it does, but it's happening now. Who are you gonna get that from?
No, where are they? So I'm asking, where are they getting it from? Stealing from us. Yeah.
Come on now. So don't tell me about some vaccine. Y'all gonna cure COVID in less than a couple months. Do you know how long it takes for vaccines to be made?
Oh, I know. I will not be one of those people getting the vaccine. No. No, my brother said, "Well, are you an anti-vaxxer?" I'm like, "No, I'm a smart woman because I'm not trying to die and be tested on again." Like they've been.
I have talked to doctors who have basically said a vaccine is not going to be productive and effective at least 2 to 3, minimum really 4 years.
No, I know. Yes.
4.
Mm-hmm.
So here we are in 2020. Don't expect this thing to be kicking in and like, yeah, you're gonna get your flu shot and your COVID shot. That's 4 years from now.
Nope.
I don't want to be on the first go around. I don't want my so-called nation leader to be telling me, drink some Lysol.
I want him to drink some. Let him drink a whole bottle of it.
You know what? Girl, I tell you, the hardest part about this is just when you go out and people aren't taken care of to mask up, to wash their hands, to put on protective, I understand we want to get out of just being, shut down. I said, but you are taking at a risk and shutting many people down just because you don't want to do certain things. And anybody that tells you that this disease is not real, like all those numbers are fake, it's all fake news, this is all fake around the world.
Yeah.
Talk to somebody whose family member or friend has now died because of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's too many. One was 170,000 now. People have died from it. That's one too many. 170
here.
Mm-hmm.
That's here.
No, no, the United States. I know. Right, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
With the million or so cases of this, and I said, yeah, I get it. I don't. What is our total population? 300 something million,
Yeah.
something like that, and we're only 40 million of it. But man, our numbers are extremely high in it.
You know what was really sad? So I'm a member of Black Ski. I go there do the summit every year. And this year was the 1 year I did.
I ain't been in a minute, man.
I didn't go this year, and I'm sad that I'm glad and sad that I didn't go. But so many of our skiers were infected with the virus. They went out to where was it Tahoe? Was in some valley this year.
Oh wow.
And people were coming back home from that really ill, and they didn't know. That was back at the end of February, beginning of March. So had Nut Job done what he was supposed to have done, that event should not have happened. Many others would not have happened had he done what he was supposed to do with alerting the nation, if you will, about this.
But Drea.
But let me. So too many of us died because of that. That's what I'm saying. You asked me earlier how many people I know that died from COVID. Most of them went to the ski summit. Too many. It was like 4 or 5 people, maybe more. And a lot were infected with it. So I know people who are still living, but still are suffering from the ramifications of having experienced that. So it's like, it didn't have to happen, is my point.
No, I get you. But just a week or so ago, the big bike rally in Sturgis had over 100,000 people there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that. So are people reporting back now from that since it's happened? Or people?
Oh, but that at the same time, it was what was also being reported in the news is about Black kids looting and rioting in Chicago downtown because of a young man that was shot by the police, and it was police cover up. Mm-hmm. So now you got 200,000 people in Sturgis. That's a health pandemic issue regardless. Flights, driving, whatever is going to happen. And it's coming back to all states and areas. Mm-hmm. The news came about that. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand that both situations are wrong. Mm-hmm. But you put the importance on this. And so that's what's been in the forefront of the news. People have called me and say, yeah, you from Chicago. What's going on? I said, well, let me tell you like this. There are young people and folks there in Chicago who are tired of the way that the police have worked mm-hmm. with and done things with young Black youth. We've already had 16 shots that happened a couple of years ago, and they covered that video up. He didn't have no weapon on him or anything. He just got shot cold blood in the street. And then this happens. And this is on top of George Floyd. So what some people decided to do, and here's what I had to explain to them. I said, some people were really genuinely upset and were marching to protest. Others were taking it as an opportunity on a come up. Mm-hmm. And their come up is throwing rocks through windows of very expensive stores and taking stuff that they wanted. Mm-hmm. Now, you can't lump all of them into Black Lives Matter or this. No, you can't. No, exactly. I said, so let me help y'all. The folks that called me and asked me, I said, let me show y'all about y'all kind of come up. Your come up comes when there's a disaster that happens, or there's a depressed area and people are losing their houses, and so you come sweeping in with your little made up company to say, hey, we'll help you with the payday loan or something to give you some money for your house or something like that. Right? And you know that you're going to turn right around and take their home as soon as they miss a payment back of the little $2,000 or $3,000 that you may have given them.
Right.
See, now you came up. So what's the difference then?
Yeah.
So it's a come up. Yours because it was under a corporation. See, and when I talk in that manner, I get the side eye. Well, what do you mean? I said exactly what I mean.
Exactly. That was what you made a point. Oh, so what you're really talking about, we haven't talked about yet, is the the media and the role that it's playing in all of this. Okay, why? So they're just as culpable, if you will, in all that's actually going on, because they're not reporting what they should be reporting and could be reporting. I think I don't know. It's just I think that there's so much that's not being said and not being done.
You would think the protests and the marches were over in the past month and a half.
No, exactly. Like it's all done. Everything's fine. So exactly. So why is that not in the forefront anymore? So now I've been watching one channel just to observe how it's been functioning. So they've stopped talking about Black Lives Matter, but now they're focusing on Black businesses, which is good. But there's still Black Lives Matter protests are still going on, and now the Black Lives Matter folks have now moved into this addressing the systemic issues of racism now. So now, why aren't we highlighting that? Put that on the news. So they have a responsibility, but they're shirking it. And now the media today, I hate to watch TV anymore. Why even watch the news? Because it's all about who's all popular and who's married. I don't care about that. I want to know about the financial status of what's going on here. How are my people being educated? Where are people living? Are we taking care of them? Are people eating? I mean, all that stuff we need to be talking about. And that needs to be on the news, but it's not. Instead, they're going to put
The WAP video.
Oh, thank you. Okay. And that was done on purpose too, by design. So we've got to wake up. We've got to wake up.
Not that I'm hating on anybody trying to make their money.
I'm not mad at them either, but there's a time and place for everything.
Can we not have the stripper anthem going on, please? Now? Really? Is that what we doing? Hey.
That's done by design to distract, to shuck and jive. Why keep saying smoke and mirrors on everything.
And what's the name of this show? You too near me not to hear me. I try to tell folks, man. Yeah, you just don't clearly understand, girl. No, you're right. But in the midst of that, what I have been trying to explain to people is that even, and I want to speak positive, even when this election comes up and it changes, it is the thing of the things that have happened that we don't know in this administration. Mm-hmm. That's what scares me.
Well, what's scary even still, things that we do know, we know that he's put a lot of judges in place. That's scary as hell, because now, oh God, I don't even think about it. We know that he's dismantled the CDC. He's taken us out of the political arena in every aspect of the way. He's undone, almost tried to undo most of what President Obama had put in place. So we've got to fix all that. The land, the land stuff that's going on, it's crazy. And I'm not talking about just land ownership. I'm talking about the protecting our oceans, protecting our land, all of that, that's gone. We're not going to have an earth to live on in a minute because of him. So it's crazy. It is pure craziness. And
somebody watching this will say, oh, you're just being a conspiracy theorist. And like, how do you answer to that? Because I know I agree with you 110,000%.
It's not a conspiracy. He's done it. It's happened already. So there's no conspiracy in it. He's done all that. So now we've got to undo it and get back to where we were before. And I'm laughing right now because I'm thinking about that young woman, the woman from the Scandinavian country, Greta. I can't think of her last name. How an adult can't call him a man. How an adult can't call him an adult either, for that matter. Tried to denigrate what this little girl, this young woman was doing. She's now a teenager. Was doing in terms of the ecology. What am I trying to say? The ecology of the world and how we are not going to have one because of all these things that he's undoing. She was amazing. She's a world. What's the title? I'm blanking. I'm losing my words right now. But yeah, but for him to address her like that, it was just disgusting. It was disgusting how he treated her, how he treated President Merkel of Germany. He's just a vile person, and we gotta get him out of office.
I still want to know, for those who are his constituents and who have voted for him, like, so the country is Is it any better?
Mm-mm. Nope.
I mean, who is it better? Who is it better for?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
For the 1%?
I'll say the 1%. Exactly.
But
That's it.
but the 1% didn't vote him in. The 1% funded him.
Right. But the thing is that yeah, they did all that, but they don't see how they're living. Their lives haven't improved. They don't get that. It's not, how have they benefited from it? They don't get that. There was a really cool, funny cartoon right after what's his face was elected, about when he repealed or tried to repeal the Affordable Care Act, and the cartoon said, "It's gone. Obamacare is gone." And then they were like, "Oh, but yeah," but then the bottom of the people that were affected, like, "Oh, but we still have the affordable. We have the Affordable Care Act." Like, no, you don't. Those are one and the same thing, fool. That's what the cartoon was basically saying. So they have no clue about what's been done to them. There's well,
I gotta pull my eyes up close. I'm like, y'all ain't listening. Y'all ain't hearing me, girl.
man, we living in some crazy times. Yeah, crazy times.
Tell me something, Drea. What do you miss right now? What do you look forward to? Hopefully, it coming back for yourself personally.
Well, so I'm a scuba instructor. I teach scuba diving. I just want to go diving. I just want to get underwater. That's my,
Black people do go scuba diving, and we do ski.
ski, tennis, and golf. I do it all. But yeah,
Girl,
I would really love to get back in the water. And I know that's probably not what you were talking about, but I need to do that.
no, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Scuba diving for me, I tell people it's my underwater yoga. It's where I find the most peace. I love being underwater and I need it. Like I've been in the water since November. When I was last in Egypt. Yeah, I was diving in Egypt in Sharm el Sheikh.
What?
Amazing. Yeah. Ugh.
You diving in Egypt? I was in Fiji.
Sweet. I haven't been there yet. That's on my list. Yeah. I was in the Maldives.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yes. I'm grateful. Last year I had went to dived a lot of good places. Maldives was one of them. I'm thinking in Tobago. I've been to a lot of places last year. Thankfully I got that in before this happened, but now it's like, oh my God, please. I hate to use this analogy. You know how the drug addict was like, I need my fit.
Need to dive.
I need to get some dives in. Man, I need to get some dives. And I miss teaching too. I miss teaching the students. I miss sharing scuba with folks. I miss it.
And I would tell you, so I've been playing golf.
Oh, me too.
Still been playing golf. I just started back in my tennis league.
Oh,
So that's
sweet.
why I'm kind of rubbing my shoulder.
I'm saying because my swing on my golf.
Yeah, my shoulder's been giving me a little tweak. But I've been in the pool every day to stay kind of active and healthy. I gave up my gym membership, and I just run and swim in the pool for like almost 2 hours every day, just to kind of keep that activity going. Because I also understand from doctors, it keeps these lungs flowing and keeps whatever could come in there. Your body's fighting and reacting it.
Exactly.
But I tell you the thing that I kind of miss more than anything else is I miss being able to connect with our folks when we smoke cigars, when we get a chance. Now, we've done it privately, we do the social distancing, or we'll go someplace and we'll be in a parking lot, we'll still spread around. But, there's nothing like the camaraderie of like-minded folks who get a chance to just share and be connected with each other.
That I do miss a lot as well. Absolutely. I think the one other thing that I will say I miss more than anything, even above the diving, is I think it's been October. No, Thanksgiving. I saw my mom. That was the last time I saw my mother. So I haven't seen my mom since November, last Thanksgiving.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. And I need to see her. I need to lay eyes on her. I need to hug her.
So you've been doing the Zoom thing or the Google Meet.
Sundays we do dinner together. We'll cook our dinners and my family will get on and we'll have dinner together. Then on Wednesdays we meet during the day just for an hour just to say hey, and then we go back about our day. But that's all I've been able to do. So I miss my mom. I need to see my mom. Yeah. Trying not to start crying here because I need to see my mama. Yeah.
I was just telling somebody else, and I think the fact that many people are acting really kind of erratic because they miss human touch.
No, exactly. No.
Just miss a hug.
Mm-hmm.
You miss somebody who you pull in close and just, hey, I'm here, or you,
That,
or even folks who are single and you just need some romantic going on in your life, man.
that too.
I'm just saying. I thank God for that woman upstairs, because I'm like, hey, girl, just let me hold me today. You want me to rub your feet? I'll rub your feet, girl. But yeah, I get it, man. But I think a lot of folks have discounted the fact that human touch is so important
Oh my gosh, it's
to our own, existence, the liveliness, the endorphins, and everything that kicks in from that. And I think that's the reason why some people have, kind of gone a little nutty, kind of crazy. I don't like using the word Karens, and I don't know what they call the dudes, Kens. But
yeah.
I think a lot of them are just like, y'all just need a hug. Like, y'all need you to relax. I think you just need a hug. I think you need to stop acting so dang foolish.
A hug, and they also, according to D.L. Hewley, remember he used to say, "You need Jesus."
You need
That's
Jesus. Oh, my family called last night with the Davises last night, and we were all like, you need some love. You need Jesus and love. God is love. You
There
need
you
some
go.
love in your life. That's it, man. That is it. So, Drea,
Yes, sir.
since I know that you have a passion for young people, and there's a young person who's watching this episode,
Mm-hmm.
and she's a young lady, whether she's white, black, African American, Latino, Asian, whatever it is, and I'm gonna put it just in that broad spectrum. What are
Mm-hmm.
what are 5 things that you would recommend for that young person who is now about to start, or who's in the midst of their first year of college, and it's at home?
Oh wow, yeah, wow.
What are 5 things that you would give as great advice to them right now?
All right, okay, put me on the spot. So the first thing I think was, as you're planning out your career, and you're at home. Wow. Find out what you're passionate about and plan accordingly. If you don't know what you're passionate about, now's the time to explore. So make that 4-year plan right now, your freshman year in college. Plan out, make 2 or 3 lists. One for your dream number 1, dream number 2, and dream number 3. And how do you attain that goal? How do you get to that? What path do you need to take to get to that? So that's a bunch of things in one. Determine your passion, come up with a plan to achieve that passion and make it your life dream. Because I do know that whenever you do something that you're passionate about, it never feels like work. So when I'm teaching scuba, it's work, but it doesn't feel like it. So that's what I love. I need to get back to that. So that's 1, 2, and 3, I guess. Can I count those?
Okay, I got you, man. Find your passion, have your 4-year plan, and then create a 2 or 3 list of your dream positions of dream list 1, 2, and 3. I got those are your 3. Good
And then,
stuff.
yeah, and then 4 and 5. So find someone within each of those things and have them mentor you along the way. And then
Find someone who's doing it.
find someone who's doing it so they can talk you through it. And I wish I had that when I had thought about that when I was growing up. Because I was like you, I was going through the motions. Spelman was so much fun. But I had a great time, and I had the best professors. Don't get me wrong, I learned a lot in and outside of the classroom. And I do it over again.
Janetta Cole was there during your freshman year, or did she come in?
She came in my junior year or senior year. I can't remember which one. McDonald Stewart was there when I came in.
Okay.
And my last point, number 5, is to have fun. You got to enjoy life. You got to have fun, but you don't have fun. I have this saying, like, you work hard and you can play harder. So get your work done and then you can play. So work hard, then play hard.
That right there is something I have always told kids. I said, work hard, play hard. Matter of fact, I had cufflinks that said it.
Oh, really? Sweet.
And what I said was, if you put that work first, the play will feel so much better.
Exactly. It feels like you're getting your reward. Absolutely.
Yeah, man. That is fabulous. I mean, honestly, that would be for male or female, but I'm glad that you're targeting, the young ladies, because I tell you, you make up majority of the population.
Mm-hmm.
You make a majority of the households,
Mm-hmm.
and all races, because
Mm-hmm.
of just, the way that things are with married couples and divorce races, and you're heading up those things. And yet you do it at percentages lower than a male salary.
I have another one. This is a bonus. This is an extra.
Come on.
You're making me think. So don't take no as an end all or definitive. There is a path for everything, and some people, the path may be straight. Some others, it may be a little bit windy, but you still get back onto that path. But don't take no as the end all to be all. Someone tells you no, find another way. There's always a way to make things happen for you. That no is that door closing, but somewhere else, another door is opening up somewhere else. So go find that door. That's why that path may be windy for you. Mine is like, woo. But I'm getting there, and I'm still getting there. I think some of us still are. But yeah.
And we all, and listen, May 2nd of this year, I wasn't doing anything except for my first video of this. Now here we are, more than 25 shows later, and this is August 19th.
Yeah.
How crazy is that, right? My boy explains it, Graduate Morehouse. He says it like this, man. Life is like this. You start at point A, and the next point is 3.7. And then the last thing is you sitting at a dining room table that's brown with 5 chairs. Well, I ain't got nothing to do with this. And how did you get all the way over here?
Exactly.
He said, but that's the way it is. You just have to be, I love the way you said it. Don't take no. I put in there, be persistent.
Be persistent. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think something I've always lived by as well is I'm not alive unless I'm learning something. So in order to live, you've got to learn. And if you are not learning something every day, then you are not living. So remember that. Live and learn every day. Read a book. You'll learn something.
Oh, I love you, Drea. Love you, girl. Love you so much. Thank you so much for spending this time today.
Thank you. I'm so happy I got to do this. Thank you for inviting me. It's been a great time.
You know I'm going to have you back again.
Absolutely.
I just appreciate that. Is there any place where somebody can find you that, you know, if they were trying to just get in contact with you, just say, hey, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. You can hit me at scuba.diver.andrea@gmail. That's easy enough. Scuba.andrea@gmail. Scuba.diver.andrea@gmail.
Wonderful, man. Well, look, I appreciate you so much.
Thank you, love you.
Man, love you a whole bunch, man.
We got to get back together again soon. We got to hook up, link up.
Sans COVID. We're going to be back on this again. Maybe get some other classmates in and make it a whole big old thing. We just kind of kick it.
Orpheus. Get Orpheus on the call with us.
Call your boy. Call your boy.
We're going to connect us. Oh my God, you will love it. Yeah, we're going to make that happen.
Call your boy. Tell him I'm down. I ain't talked to that brother in a minute, man. Would love that.
Okay.
Yes. See, told you. We need to go back to our spot. What was our spot again?
Nikki's, man.
Nikki's. I hope Nikki's is still around. I got a boy who's in San Fran. Man, that's a whole other show. Hey, y'all. Thank you for joining us today here on YouTooNearMeNotToHearMe. Once again, the incomparable Miss Andrea Williams. My love, my heart, my big dog was up.
Love you, man.
Love you too. All right.
Well, stay safe.
Bye-bye.
Peace.